Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever, noticed how your favorite fabric softener keeps clothes smelling fresh for days?
Hmm.
Or how a really nice hand cream seems to hold its scent long after you've put it on?
Yeah, that lingering effect.
Exactly. So we're diving into the hidden world behind those aromas, the Fragrances Microencapsulation Market. It sounds niche, maybe, but it's evolving super fast, and we want to explore how it's actually reshaping the products you use every day.
And what's really fascinating here, I think, is how something seemingly simple, like scent, is being totally revolutionized by some pretty advanced science. It's really changing the game for how we experience, well, everyday stuff.
Right. So let's get into the core of it, this microencapsulation.
Yeah.
How does it actually work? Why does it make scents last so much longer? Because it's not just like a quick spritz of fragrance, right? It's more gradual.
Exactly. It's all about controlled release. Think of tiny, tiny capsules holding the fragrance. They break open slowly over time, or maybe with friction, like when you wear clothes. So instead of getting that big hit of scent all at once, which then fades, you get this slow, steady diffusion.
Ah, okay. And that applies across the board. Cosmetics, home products.
Oh, absolutely. Cosmetics, household cleaners, even textiles. It makes the fragrance persist significantly longer than, just mixing the oil in directly.
So like my body lotion smelling good hours later or deodorant working all day, that could be this tech.
Very likely, yes. It really enhances consumer satisfaction because, well, you don't need to keep reapplying. It saves that hassle. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this technology directly taps into what people increasingly want. They want premium products, right? Things that deliver consistent freshness and performance.
Convenience, lasting quality.
Precisely. Manufacturers know this. These micro things, they help preserve that just applied scent feeling for much, much longer.
Like that high-end detergent example.
Exactly. Your clothes smelling clean, not just out of the wash, but days later from the closet. Or that luxury hand cream you mentioned. Companies are definitely using this to make their products stand out. It's a competitive edge.
Okay, so that brings us right to things we use constantly, like laundry. You mentioned textiles.
Mm.
How big a deal is this for, say, our bed sheets or towels?
It's definitely growing. The appeal of fabrics that are, actively infused with fragrance is really taking off.
So clothes that smell fresh after washing them multiple times.
Yeah, or even towels, bed linens, and detergent makers. They rely on this stuff now. It ensures their product's scent lasts well beyond the wash cycle. It delivers that pleasant, clean smell that, honestly, consumers now kind of expect. It's becoming a basic standard, not just a nice bonus.
But okay, like any powerful tech, there've got to be downsides, right? Hurdles.
Yeah.
It can't all be smooth sailing.
Oh, definitely not. This market has its share of challenges, for sure.
So what are we talking about?
Mm.
Cost, complexity.
Well, cost is a big one. That raises an important question. What's the price tag on this kind of innovation? Developing and manufacturing these microencapsulated fragrances, it takes significant investment. You need serious R&D, sophisticated equipment, specialized materials.
Right, not cheap.
Not cheap at all. And those costs, they often translate into a higher price for the final product, premium pricing, which might limit how quickly it gets picked up in really cost-sensitive regions or just
Oh.
among people watching their budgets.
Okay, so beyond the price tag itself,
Mhm.
getting these tiny scent capsules just right, that sounds complicated.
It really is. You have to ensure the capsule size is uniform. You need the right fragrance load. That's how much scent you pack inside each one.
Okay.
And then you need consistent release performance. So they all break down at the right rate. That takes some really careful process engineering. It's specialized stuff.
And I imagine there are rules and regulations involved too,
Yeah,
especially for stuff you put on your skin.
absolutely. Navigating the regulatory landscape, that's another major hurdle. Ingredient safety is paramount, especially for anything skin contact or, potentially near food. Getting approval, meeting standards in different countries, it can really slow down product launches and just makes operations more complex for these companies.
And then there's the elephant in the room these days, the environment. What about the planet?
That's a really important point. A lot of the current microcapsules are made from synthetic polymers. Plastics, basically.
And they're tiny, so microplastics.
Exactly. Many aren't biodegradable. So that raises some serious red flags about the long-term ecological impact, especially now with everyone, rightly, so much more aware of microplastic pollution.
So there's pressure to change that.
Huge pressure on manufacturers, on brands, on everyone involved. They need to innovate responsibly and find more sustainable solutions. It's a major focus.
Okay, so challenges are clear. But like you said, innovation doesn't stop. Where's this market heading? What are the exciting trends?
Well, the story definitely doesn't end with the challenges. In fact, that pressure is driving some of the most interesting development.
Like the sustainable solutions you mentioned.
Precisely. That's maybe the biggest area. There's a really strong push towards eco-friendly and biodegradable capsules. Companies are actively researching and using natural polymers, bio-based materials, things that break down harmlessly.
And that helps with regulations too, I guess.
It does. It helps brands meet those tougher global rules, but it also just resonates really strongly with consumers who are looking for greener options. It's a win-win, really.
Okay, what else? You mentioned textiles earlier.
Mm.
Is there more happening there?
Oh, yeah. Think beyond just smelling nice. Think functional, smart textiles.
Functional. Like what, clothes doing things?
Sort of. Imagine sportswear that releases a burst of refreshing scent when you get active and start sweating.
Oh, wow.
Or bed linens infused with calming scents like lavender that are released gently through the night to help you sleep better.
That sounds amazing. Blending luxury with actual function.
Exactly. And sometimes there are even added benefits being explored, like antimicrobial properties built into the scent release, or even stress relief through aromatherapy. It's opening up totally new avenues in fashion, wellness, even potentially healthcare.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And technologically, is there another leap forward happening?
There is. If we're talking about precision and performance, then nanoencapsulation, that's the real game changer on the horizon.
Nano. So even smaller.
Way smaller. We're talking dimensions at the nanometer scale. These systems allow for ultra-precise release of fragrances. Think even more targeted, even more controlled. They can integrate much deeper into materials, into substrates, skin, fabric, whatever. The performance enhancement can be significant.
So even better scent delivery.
And potentially enabling completely new types of products we haven't even thought of yet. It impacts everything from cosmetics to air care. It really raises the bar.
Wow. Okay, so putting this all together, this deep dive really shows the fragrances microencapsulation market is, well, it's really undergoing a vibrant transformation. You've got amazing innovation in the delivery systems. You've got rising demand from us, the consumers, in personal care, home care, and this really important shift towards sustainability, kind of pushing everything forward too.
Absolutely.
So whether you're interested in beauty products or textiles or even just your laundry detergent, this is definitely a market to keep an eye on in the next few years.
It really is. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. As this technology gets better and lets us infuse almost anything with these long-lasting controlled scents, where do you think the line might be, ethically perhaps? Or maybe what's a surprising new application you can imagine for this that we haven't even touched on today? Something to mull over. Ever wondered how that fresh laundry scent can stick around for days? Or why your deodorant keeps working hours later? It feels a bit like magic, doesn't it? But it's not. We're talking about fragrance that really lasts. And it's becoming much more common thanks to some pretty amazing science. Welcome to this deep dive.
Today we're going to unpack the really fascinating world of fragrances microencapsulation. We got a recent market report here, and it really sheds light on this tech and what it is, where it is now, and where it's going. Our mission, to give you the essential info, the shortcut to understanding its impact globally and what the future holds. So you're really in the know.
And what's really interesting is why this market is booming. It boils down to us, the consumers. People increasingly want fragrances that last longer, that release slowly over time. You know, in clothes, personal care, home products.
That makes sense. We want that freshness to persist.
Exactly. It's a pretty universal desire.
Okay, you mentioned booming, and yeah, the numbers are wild. But first, maybe just quickly, what's fragrances microencapsulation? It sounds technical. It does. But the concept is actually quite elegant. Imagine taking tiny, tiny microscopic droplets of fragrance oil, way too small to see, obviously, and you wrap each one in a tiny protective shell.
Like a little scent bubble?
Sort of, yeah. A miniature time capsule for scent is a good way to think about it. These shells stop the fragrance just evaporating away, which is what normally happens.
Okay, so the scent is locked inside. How does it get out? When do we smell it?
Ah, that's the clever part. The shells are designed to break open and release the scent only when triggered. So maybe through friction, like when you move around in your clothes or brush your hair.
Or if you're rubbing action.
Exactly. Or it could be moisture. Think about skincare or deodorant it releases when it contacts water or sweat. This controlled release is the key. It means the scent doesn't hit you all at once and then fade. It lasts for potentially days. It's a game changer.
That's really smart. Smart scents that activate when needed. Okay, now let's talk scale. this aromatic revolution. The report pegs the global market at, what, $787.54 million back in 2021, which is already pretty big.
It is, but that's just the starting point. Get this, the projection for 2025 is $11,138.1 million.
Wow, okay. That's
Got it.
quick maths. A 44.5% jump in just 4 years.
Exactly, huge growth.
Right.
And looking further out, the forecast for 2033 is, frankly, staggering. It's expected to hit $2,376.82 million.
Over $2.3 billion, so more than tripling its 2025 size.
That's right. And the global compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, is a really robust 9.642%.
Nearly 10% growth year after year.
Yeah. So for you listening, this tells us it's not just some flash in the pan. It's a sustained, strong trend. Widespread adoption is really driving this thing forward.
Okay, a global TGR close to 10% is impressive. Let's break that down. Where is this growth actually happening? Which regions are sort of leading the charge here?
Good question. Well, the report shows Asia-Pacific is really setting the pace. It has the strongest regional CGR globally at 10.579%. We're talking about a market going from around $200 million in 2021, surging past $667 million by 2033.
Huge leap. What's driving that in APAC?
Several key countries. China's a major factor, obviously. Huge absolute growth expected. They're projected to hit almost $194 million by 2033. That's up from $56 million. Its CAGR is nearly 11%.
Okay.
But interestingly, India actually shows the highest CAGR among the major players in the region, 11.487%.
Higher than China.
Yeah. It's growing from about $27 million to over $100 million by 2033. It reflects, a rapidly growing middle class, huge demand for more premium, longer-lasting goods. India is definitely one to watch.
Absolutely. Any others in APAC?
Oh, yes. Japan's also significant, a solid 9.9%, the CAGR. And then you have strong growth in South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Southeast Asia generally. It's really broad-based growth across the region.
So Asia-Pacific is clearly the front runner in terms of growth rate. What about North America? It's often a huge market for consumer goods. The report shows it's not far behind APAC in terms of overall momentum.
That's right. North America is showing really robust growth, too. Its market size was larger to begin with, almost $293 million in 2021. It's projected to hit over $839 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of 9.166%. Still very strong.
And within North America, is it mainly the U.S.?
The U.S. is definitely the dominant player, no surprise there. It accounted for about $240 million in 2021 and is expected to reach nearly $680 million by 2033. That's a 9% CAGR.
Solid.
But Canada is actually growing slightly faster in percentage terms, a 9.75% CAGR, going from about $40 million to over $123 million.
Interesting. And Mexico?
Mexico contributes too, a smaller base,
Wow.
around $13 million in 2021, but still growing strongly at 9.5% CAGR, heading towards $38 million. So yeah, North America shows that even in mature developed markets, there's still a huge appetite for this kind of product enhancement. It's about upgrading the experience.
Okay, so strong growth in APAC and North America. How does Europe fit into this global picture? Are they keeping pace?
Europe is showing very steady, consistent growth. Its CAGR is actually almost identical to North America's at 9.172%. The market there was about $167 million in 2021, projected to hit over $475 million by 2033.
Consistent. Which European countries are standing out?
Germany actually has the highest TAGR in Europe, nearly 10%, 9.898% to be precise, moving from $33 million towards $101 million.
Like Germany leading the way there.
But the UK is also strong, about 9.5% CAGR, France around 8.5%, Italy nearly 9%, plus consistent growth across other European nations too. It signals really a stable, widespread adoption across these established consumer bases. Not quite the explosive rate of some APAC countries, but very solid, reliable growth.
Right. So it's not just the traditional economic giants. The report also highlights opportunities in, let's call them emerging markets, South America, the Middle East, Africa. This really shows how global the trend is.
Absolutely. And the growth rates there are significant, showing this isn't just a developed world phenomenon. Take South America. Its market is set to more than triple by 2033, climbing from roughly $50 million to $155 million. That's driven by a near 10% CAGR, 9.944%.
And key players there, Brazil, I assume.
Brazil is a major contributor, yes, growing at 9.8%, but Argentina actually shows an even higher CAGR, over 10.5%.
Interesting. Okay, what about the Middle East? That's a region often associated with, fragrances and luxury.
Indeed, and they're definitely embracing this technology. The Middle East market grew from about $42.5 million and is heading toward $131 million by 2033. The KGR there is 9.822%. Key drivers are Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the UAE.
Any standouts there?
Well, Turkey and the UAE both have KGRs over 10%. The UAE is particularly strong at 10.455%. It suggests consumers there really value that superior, sustained scent experience and are willing to invest in it.
Makes sense. And finally, Africa. How's the adoption looking there?
Africa is also showing significant expansion. From about $35 million in 2021, it's projected to cross $108 million by 2033. That's a robust 9.304% CAGR overall.
And within Africa.
South Africa is the key market, growing at nearly 10% CAGR. Nigeria is also showing strong growth, around 9.5%.
So when you connect all these dots, Asia-Pacific leading, North America and Europe strong and steady, and then really impressive growth in South America, the Middle East, Africa. What's the big takeaway?
I think the key pattern is just how widespread this is. It's not concentrated in one type of economy or region. It reinforces that the underlying driver, that consumer desire for longer-lasting fragrance in everyday items, is pretty much universal. It's pushing innovation everywhere, creating new product possibilities. This isn't niche anymore. It's becoming a fundamental part of how products deliver scent. And the numbers show it's not slowing down.
Okay, let's quickly recap the core message from this deep dive then. We're looking at Fragrances Microencapsulation, this clever tech locking in scent for controlled release. The market is absolutely booming. We saw it was $787 million in 2021, heading towards a staggering $2.3 billion plus by 2033, more than tripling.
Right, a massive trajectory.
Asia Pacific is leading that growth charge with the fastest rates, especially India and China, but North America and Europe are right there with strong, steady expansion.
And importantly, significant growth across South America, the Middle East, and Africa too, highlighting that global demand.
And it all comes back to that core driver, consumers wanting scents that last longer in clothes, personal care, home products, everywhere really.
Exactly. Which leads to a really interesting thought for you, our listener, to ponder. If scent can be made to last almost indefinitely in everyday things, how might that change things? How could it change product design? Or think about our buying habits, maybe we buy less often. Does it change how we experience the world through smell? And maybe even, what other applications could there be? Beyond just consumer goods, things we haven't even thought of yet. Definitely something to mull over.